Who has the power? The people or the politicians? Who has more honor? People who use coercion to achieve their goals, or people who use consent? I think you know the answer to both, and it's time we start implementing them. Hey everyone, welcome to the Freedom Lovers Show. I'm your host, David James Rodriguez, and we're building a voluntary world, one relationship at a time. And welcome to Mass Disobedience Monday. I'm in California, as you know, and the governor over here implemented a curfew beginning Saturday. And so, of course, I don't participate in immoral, unconstitutional laws that I didn't agree to, let alone the entire Constitution. But the important thing is to realize who has the power. Because let's say he does do a curfew forever, and of course now you have mandatory masks and mandatory tests coming and mandatory vaccines. If I don't comply, do those mandates actually exist? Well, take a look. There's a group out there called the California Curfew Breakers, and these guys are doing some great work just disobeying, as we did. We had a celebratory toast at 10:01 p.m. on Saturday for our Voluntary Solutions Bonfire number 25, and the great thing is that nothing happened. Okay, these guys can say there's laws or there's orders, but if we don't comply, they don't exist. That is the real power, my friends, and this is what they have been afraid of the whole time, is you discovering your own sovereign decision-making power. Little bird up there, can you hear him? It's good luck when birds jump on the video, because when you realize that you are a king and queen on the land, just like the governor pretends to be, and just like presidents and all these other politicians act like it, but actually, since you're not using coercion, you're actually a noble man or woman, and you use consent. So you have morality on your side, you have honor and honesty and goodness on your side. And so this is the great dilemma that many of you faced. Some of you are still believing in state authority, and so you say, well, what about the roads? And my contention is we don't need a third party to use coercion against us. We'll make our own roads. And what about national security? Oh, we'll have our own private security that we use with our own money to pay for, just like how you pay for your own car, your own transportation, your own food, your own clothing. If you want it, then you get to pay for it. And the provider will give it to you because he's trying to earn a living. He's trying to become profitable in the work that he's doing. And the secret is they don't want you to find your personal power. And so this is the real dilemma that many of you law enforcers have right now, because you have politicians making ridiculous orders and they're putting you in a tough spot. So let's remember, this isn't the people versus the cops. This is the people and the cops versus the politicians. So once you law enforcers, cop, sheriff, PD, whoever you are, rangers, understand that our rights come from God or nature, and you swore an oath or affirmed an oath to protect those rights. And these tyrannical orders, which many of you are enforcing, are going to affect your kids and your grandkids. You'll join us. And so one of the great champions of freedom on earth right now is named Howard Lickman. He started something called the Thick Red Line, thickredline.org project, and that is about helping people to stop enforcing victimless crimes, because a curfew is a victimless crime, a mandatory mask is a victimless crime, and you have freedom to choose what you want to do with your life. You are a sovereign man or a woman on the earth. Okay, this is different than a sovereign citizen. Okay, sovereign citizen is saying like you're a pregnant virgin. Either you're pregnant or you're a virgin. Either you're a sovereign or you're a citizen. And a citizen is a subject of a state or an entity, which you're not. You are a living man and woman. And this is the fear that they're so scared of, that you'll discover your true power. And so we're inviting the police officers, you guys got to make a decision. Are you on the side of the people or are you on the side of the politicians? Because the time is coming where they're going to mandate tests, they're going to have quarantine camps, and you're going to have to decide, are you going to put someone in a quarantine camp like was it the mayor or the governor in New Zealand talked about, or the leaked email out of Canada? So when they give you mandates, they disappear if you disobey. And this is why it's Mass Disobedience Monday. I'm inviting you to consider disobeying all curfews, all mandates, anything where there's no crime occurring, which means there's no victim, and then you can be free and not worry about the harm that you might cause or if these guys are causing on you. I'm just doing my job. Dude, that's terrible. You got to think for yourself. You are a thinking being. That's what humans are. We have a mind. And we can make art and music and expression and intention and powerful things. And so do you think the gangsters behind the Federal Reserve banking system, the military industrial complex, the private industrial complex, the pharmaceutical complex, the communications and media complex in Hollywood, you think they want you to find out that your secret power is inside you and it's not in a politician? No, they want you to keep voting and keep voting the lesser of two evils, right? And so I don't have any hate for you guys out there who have, political affiliations. Do as you wish. Just don't harm another person. But you got to understand that if you didn't sign the Constitution or Declaration of Independence, it's not binding to you. And we want to evolve, right? This is why we drive in cars now. We used to ride in horse and buggies. So that's where we're going with self-government as well, is that we can lead ourselves. We don't need permission from anybody to live a life of freedom. We come in peace. We come in love and in joy. And there's a funny story that I thought about talking about mass disobedience. And this is when I was in the 6th grade, and we were in Mr. Fleischman's class. And, class ends at 3 p.m., and there we were. It was 2:50 p.m., and, 6th grade, we're about 11, 12 years old, and we're like looking for Mr. Fleischman. Where are you? And Mr. Fleischman, this isn't to degrade you. I hope you're doing well. But where is he? He wasn't here. So me and my buddies were like, maybe it's time to get out of here, man. Maybe class is over. So we're like, all right, you guys ready? Okay, let's leave. So we got up and we left class. And all of a sudden, Mr. Fleischman comes around the corner and he's going, back! And he has a beard and he has spit hanging out from his lip right here. He was so mad. And so all of us were like looking at each other. We're like, okay, I guess we're gonna go back now. And we did. We went back. We complied. But that was a moment right there when there was like 15, 20 of us. If all of us would have just said, no, Mr. Fleischman, we decide that school is over today. Goodbye. And we would have stood our ground. What could he have done? Nothing. He couldn't have done anything. And so this is the powerful point you guys want to remember, is that when you're participating in non-compliance and disobedience, the numbers outweigh the power, right? These guys have titles and say, oh yeah, you gotta do this because I'm a politician. It doesn't matter who you are. You don't have special rights. We are the living man and women on the earth. And so if I would have known that as a young guy, hey buddy.
Dude, I love what you're doing.
You love my, oh, do you know me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool, dude. What's up?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Jake.
Cool, man. I'm Jake.
831 Surf Kook.
Cool. On Insta?
Yeah.
Right on, man. All right. Peace, guys. Right on. You guys are great. Dude, the surfers are awesome, man. These guys are cautious, man. These young guys, dude, I can't wait to connect with that guy. So this is the lesson, is that at that moment, if all of us would have stood by what we're doing and said, nope, it's over. By the way, school has mandatory attendance. Okay, so that alone means the day prison. Okay, so mandatory attendance, that doesn't exist anywhere except in jail and in school. So the point is that we have a real special opportunity right now, my friends. Disobey these curfews, disobey the mask orders. And some of you business owners, we're putting together some documents, and there's other great people out there doing this stuff. But do you know where your rights come from? If they don't come from government, then stop pretending like they do. Step up in the human that you are, the men and the women that you are, man. Like, we can break free of all this. All we gotta do is say no. And we don't have to be violent. We don't even have to use guns. This is the great documentary, How to Start a Revolution, by Gene Sharp. He says nonviolence is more powerful than violence. I know some of my Boogaloo friends would disagree because government is force, but that's for you to decide. So we come in peace. We don't want to see any bloodshed. We don't want to see any harm to anybody. And freedom's going to win, and freedom is winning. Do you realize what's happening? The internet opened up so much information, and now we understand. You own your body. I own this flesh and blood. We can do whatever we want as long as we don't harm another person or their property. It's called the non-aggression principle. And so we invite you law enforcers and you politicians out there, good ones if they exist, but I know there's good cops out there. Look at the thickredline.org. Consider organizing with your group, because you're going to be put between deciding, do you represent the people or do you represent politicians? My friends, this is a foregone conclusion. You are going to make a decision in your lifetime. Do you want to protect life, liberty, and property like your oath asserted you would, or are you going to comply and obey politicians? Yeah, I know there's good guys out there. Probably most of you guys are good. So please choose the side of good. And all you men and women out there, welcome to Mass Disobedience Monday. And I recommend you do it on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday if you want. Remember, there's strength and safety in numbers. Document your interactions with these people. And there is no curfew. Only if you obey, there's a curfew. So thanks for joining us on the Freedom Lovers Show. We're building a voluntary world, one relationship at a time.